States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Kent? Here. Mr. Evers? Here. Mr. Santos?
Here.
This time we'll do roll call. Director of Senior Center, yeah. Ms. Henshaw. Park Supervisor is out, not going well today. Todd Schaefer. Our Fire Chief, Andy Frost III. I don't know if he's coming or not at this time. We have our Police Chief, Bob Gavalier. We have our Zoning Inspector, Darren Crivelli. We have Mike Godfrey, our Administrator and Road Supervisor that's walking the floor right now. We have our Fiscal Officer, Lori Wolf. We have our Trustee, Steve Kent, and our Trustee, Robert Santos, and I am Trustee, Monica Devers. Need a motion to approve minutes of the regular meeting on February 27, 2023, and the special meeting March 6th of 2023. Mr. Peters? Yes. Mr. Santos?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
At this time, we'll have the administrator report.
Just to let you know, I think you guys got the email from Township Association on the final procedure they've come up with as far as us getting, accessing the sales tax money for resurfacing. So I'll be looking at that, and probably, I believe what we first have to do is pass a resolution, and they have a copy of the resolution in the information they sent us, so that will be, we'll start that process next meeting.
Please, Chief.
I'd like to add, this past Sunday, we're invited to the Eagles on Raccoon Road, meeting the Fire Chief Andy. And I wanted to thank the Eagles for their donation to the police department for $2,000. Every year they donate money to the departments here and help pay for equipment for us. And like I said, at the Eagles, they're always helping out the community in that fundraiser with a young gentleman that needed surgery and help fundraiser with children. Again, I just want to give publicly give thanks to Bob Marshall and the Eagles.
That's all.
Fire Chief Andy.
I'm asking that we pass a resolution, and this is for reimbursement for the East Palestine incident. I have to run the total through you guys. You need to pass my resolution, the ability for me to bill that back. So this came from the prosecutor's office. Tim Casey worked on this for us. All the townships are doing the same thing. We've itemized what was needed to replace, and also our manpower. So I believe you guys have the attachment for the resolution. So I'm asking that we pass that. And I also would like to thank the Eagles as well. They do incredible things for us. Every year they're so giving to us. And again, it was an honor to be there, and I just want to thank them for their donation. And they help out the township a lot. So thank you.
Okay, we need a motion to certify costs required for unauthorized discharge of contaminants into the environment, and request that the Mahoning County Prosecutor then will bring a civil action to recover said costs.
I'll second. I have a question, if you don't mind. I know that it's a rumor mill, I'm not sure the viability of it. I heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if we do this and they add more items that we could have gotten reimbursed for, we can't do that. Is that true? You know?
So this came from the prosecutor's office. I met with them twice so far. We brought that topic up, and they said they don't feel that that is the least bit reliable. We are not going to sign anything off that says we have no reoccurring costs that may happen. So that's the reason why I involved the prosecutor's office, so that we wouldn't get into that situation. And I'm confident that they're giving us the right answers. Again, this is through Tim Tusick, who does a great job with this. So I feel confident that it will be okay.
Thank you. Okay. Chief, anything from FEMA of their reimbursement to us for this?
So right now, the process that it's in is they are gonna submit all of this to Norfolk Southern. Right now, Norfolk Southern is agreeing to pay this. So we're gonna see where that goes, but again, involving the prosecutor's office, if we have to go further, if Norfolk Southern doesn't pay this back to us, then we'll be able to do it legally, and doing it this way allows us to proceed. So as of right now, the plan is, and this is with FEMA's involvement, the plan is for us to get reimbursement directly from Norfolk Southern. But if they fail to do that, then we will get assistance from the government at that point.
Did we get a second on that?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to make sure before I move on. Mr. Sampson?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mrs. Peters? Yes. Zoning inspector, Darren?
I'd ask the board to approve a nuisance resolution under Ohio Revised Code 5.87 and declare the following properties a public nuisance for junk and debris. 114 Country Green Drive, 328 South Edgehill Avenue, 3740 Frederick Street. I'd just like to advise the board and maybe residents who are here or may watch this. 114 Country Green Drive is a bit of a challenge right now. I've had this on the nuisance resolutions last year, probably the last 3 or 4 years. It's a rental. And last week I had Ohio Valley remove mattresses and couches from the curb. The mattress was actually out the street. Right now there's 3 mattresses out there. They're going to be removed tomorrow. And there's some other issues there that will not come to this board but may end up in court. But this is a rental. The landlord needs to do a better job of managing it, and if he wants, this board hopefully will, and we will put liens on the property. And if the other issues aren't taken care of, he will stand before a judge in your Austintown court. But I have to give him the due process on that. So I would ask the neighbors to just be patient.
Second.
Thank you.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mrs. Peters? Yes. Mr. Sampson?
Yes.
That's all I have.
Mr. Honeycomb?
Okay, we had an interesting day today. We've been holding gun safety classes at the Austintown Senior Center for the last few weeks. I'd like to thank Detective Reese from the Austintown Police Department. He came in, he gave the basics, he showed some of the stuff that was going on. We've been using, we're using airsoft weapons, or pistols, or guns at the senior center because they don't make any real noise and they don't put holes in walls, which is sort of nice. But it gives you a chance to practice and learn how to make a weapon function, what it does, make sure you're handling it safely and all that. And Detective Reese did an excellent job on doing that. We've been practicing, and today was graduation day. And I like to thank Sam Swagger. He opened up the American Range for us today, and some of the ladies went out there, and it was fascinating. I was back there when they shot the very first time. And they had no idea how much noise a pistol actually makes. It was, whoa! Because the airsoft goes poof, the next one woke them up that they had ear protection on and eye protection as well. But I like to thank Sam. He was very patient with them. He got them going. And in amongst the audience today, we have Dead-Eye Emily over here. She came out from the Vindicator to report what was going on, and we made her participate. I did have a picture, I'll pass it around. You may notice her target. The other ladies did very well too, but she was fantastic. But we had a lot of fun, and it's good. We'll do the class again a few months from now. You know, we'll get the site sheet, get people interested in it, and I think after it winds up in the media and in the newspaper, we probably will generate some more interest quickly on that. And the whole thing started, this isn't the first time we've done it. the whole thing started a number of years back when some of the ladies approached me and said, my husband passed away, he had all these weapons, or, pistols and rifles in that home, and I don't know what to do with them. We said, well, there's ways you can sell it, but I said, no. I want to learn how to use them. And so that fomented the whole thing, and here we are. And interestingly enough, today we got invited to put a presentation on at the Ohio Associated Senior Center Convention, which is being held this week, on our gun safety class. So, and that just happened today after the class. They invited us, we sent a thing down to them what we were doing, and they saw that, and they said, come down and make a presentation. So Jessica will make a presentation on the gun safety class amongst all the senior centers in the state of Ohio this week.
That's very nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you. Fiscal Officer, Lloyd Wolf.
I really don't have anything to add, just note that next meeting we will be approving permanent appropriations.
Motion to accept February report submitted to the board for review per agenda A through E.
Second.
Mrs. Beaver?
Yes.
Mr. Sanchez?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
New business. Motion to approve MOU with the ABC Water and Stormwater District for reimbursement of cost inquired on Windcliff, Congress Court, and Ditch Boulevard pipe replacement project in the event ABC enacts a stormwater utility fee for Austintown.
Also move, so we can get it on discussion, I'll explain further.
Okay.
All second.
So, if you guys back on, obviously, 2-3 meetings ago, you appointed me on the stormwater district. As we know, we have some collapsed culverts at 3 locations, and we haven't gotten a cost yet, but it's estimated to be about $500,000. Hopefully, it's a lot cheaper, but we're not too sure what the cost is. We have not put it out for bid yet. But these are collapsed culverts where there's holes in people's yards that obviously need to get fixed. So with us not participating in the fee collection of this, these issues are funded solely by the road department. So it's $500,000. That's $500,000 that we're going to be spending within our 3 months of the new year. Again, I don't know all the details. Before we initiate any type of ABC fee, I will make sure that we find every avenue we can to where we don't have to do that, so we can resolve this issue without giving a financial burden to the road department. What this will do is, if today, tomorrow, 10 years from now, the ABC Water District initiates a fee, the township can get reimbursed for these 3 projects. Again, this is not a motion to initiate anything, it's just a motion to say if we do, the ABC district initiates a fee collection down the line, we can bill them for reimbursement. And
Can you explain the ABC?
I can, yes. So, for those who don't know, we're part of the Austintown, Boardman, Canfield Water District. So right now, Boardman and Canfield, they collect a fee from their residents. And the fee can only and solely be used for stormwater related issues like collapsed culverts, if a new development gets put in, and for example, Neander Glen, as soon as they cut the trees down, the water used to go one way, the trees are gone, they go a different way, and now we have Niagara Falls going to people's backyards. Those are funds that are restricted for pretty much our, so what I'm looking for.
Rainwater runoff.
Redirecting the water so it's not sitting in the backyard. So the district's sole purpose is to ensure that any stormwater issues are properly addressed, so that complete collapsed culvert over on Fitch Boulevard, the entire thing is about 200 yards, it's 100% basically collapsed. I got photos, I tried printing them off, for some reason when I hit print, they all went on one pile, so you can't even tell which one's which. But it's bad. It never should have got to the point of this. The township, I personally feel the township failed. Not us, we're newly elected obviously, but we are the township. We gotta take responsibility for even past individuals, and it's our job to obviously fix it. me as a member of the board of the ABC Water District, I definitely, do not want to have another fee implemented. I'm doing everything I can to make sure we don't go that route at all. But this is just an option. Again, I'd rather have a restricted funds than go for a levy. At which point, that levy can be used for anything. We know it can be used for pay raise, roads, whatever, but I don't want to express to the residents, hey, we need a new road levy so we can fix these stormwater issues. Well, those money that we're collecting, again, this is all hypothetical, if we did, well, that money can be, oh, well, this issue is more important right now, we didn't know this just came up. If the ABC Water District initiated a fee, it is restricted solely for stormwater related issues. None of us here can touch those funds at all. We can't transfer it to anyone in this room, no department in this room. It's solely for that, and it will actually alleviate some funding in the road department. That's just a brief description. That's not why I'm asking for this motion anyway. So I know it might went off in a little tantrum, but this is just if we do decide and we cannot find a way to solve these issues without enacting a fee, and the ABC district does in fact initiate a fee, will be reimbursed. Because always we have to look out for our tax dollars so we can make sure our roads are being paid. Because right now it costs, just for the material, I think it's $135,000 per mile. And it's going up, I think it's like $90, $95 a ton, which takes about 1,548 tons for a 2-lane road. That's like, just for the asphalt, it's 130. So, yes, ma'am.
Did you say how much residents are looking at paying if we do the ABC?
I don't have all of the numbers, the exact numbers, I don't have them. We actually have an ABC meeting tomorrow, but it's looking for the average homeowner to pay like $37 a year.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
But again, this is not enacting a fee, this is just if the district decides to later on, we know the township will be reimbursed.
So Robert, this would have to be brought up against the board again for us to take a motion to decide whether that would go through. Is that correct?
To initiate a fee?
Yes.
No, the district is the one that initiates the fee, we have nothing.
So this will never come back up to the board now after we did this?
Correct, well, so tomorrow at the ABC district, they have to approve it as well, because we have to be in agreement, the township has to be in agreement with the ABC Water District. So, the district is the one that initiates the fee. This is just, again, this motion is just to say, hey, if we have a problem tomorrow, we have to fix it, we have those 3 projects. And it's gonna cost $500,000, and we will be reimbursed 1, 2, 10 years, 20 years down the line. If they finally initiate the fee, we can backdate anything out of the state.
So the ABC decides whether or not they're gonna charge us then? Start taking this, and when we decide, who decides to say, yes, go ahead and start charging the residents?
The ABC Water District.
Which consists of what?
Which if they did, they will make sure they have town halls to explain to the residents, give them an opportunity to give their concerns, and hey, here's what we came up, here's why we're doing it. If you guys have a way that we can resolve these issues, there's a laundry list of stormwater issues we have. If you guys can come up with another way, if you want to assist in brainstorming a different way on how we can solve these issues without going into our pockets, they will be 100% on board because they don't want to initiate a fee as much as none of us want to initiate it.
I think $40 a year is awesome, and we know exactly where it's going.
Yes.
Which is.
But again, this is not anything about initiating, this is if the district does, we will be reimbursed.
That's just giving them a silver line.
Does that answer your guys' question? For a second.
Oh, okay. Mr. Kent?
Yeah.
Mrs. Peters?
Yes.
Mr. Sampson?
Yes.
At this time, we will be taking,
I'm checking, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. There's one more thing, I apologize. Back in September, House Bill 206 was passed by the state, which gives the authority to the elected officials locally to allow their officers to perform certain duties on their, in the state that goes through the township. I'm not sure if you guys recall, but I brought this up back in September and again in October. And then Lieutenant Scouring did his due diligence. He put a lot of work in it. He actually created an initiative that allowed our officers to perform certain duties on the interstate. His focus isn't the right speeding tickets. God knows, we can do that on New Road, Turner Road, all that stuff. His focus is the thousands upon thousands every hour that the vehicles travel, the drugs that are going through, and the human trafficking that's actually going through our town. He wants to put a stop to that. I completely support that wholeheartedly. If you guys have any questions, obviously, Chief Cavalier will be able to talk more details about it, but this is something that I think that we should definitely move on. He's asked us about it. I've seen his initiative emailed to all of us. I think we should definitely, per the resolution, it has to be enacted per resolution, that we allow him to initiate his initiative, because God knows I don't want drugs coming through my town. I mean, they're all stopping at the truck stop, they're going to school. My son's stepson's 18, tells me all the time about some of the stuff these kids have. And if I can limit their ways that they can receive them, then by golly, I'm all for it. And all those victims of human trafficking, if we can kind of stop that, I don't want to see that in this town at all. I want them to go somewhere else and put those guys, those sick individuals behind bars.
You want to elaborate on this?
Reference to House bill passing gives us the right to go down on interstate, which we had not before to enforce traffic laws. And when they were, I was contacted by a lot of smaller townships to sign on this, which I did, and I thought it was just going down there, basically the right speeding tickets on interstate, which Ohio State Patrol does. And we have enough, believe me, our probably number one complaint I get in my office all the time is speeding complaints on the roads here in Austintown. So I don't want to start sending our guys down there, taking them away from the neighborhoods here to enforce speeding tickets with state patrol down here. But it also gives us the right to go down there, and we've kind of scoured and put a lot of thought into it. And what we're looking at doing without taking anybody off the road, without causing overtime, or as long as the schedule permits, we have a couple extra guys on the schedule, not taking them out of the neighborhoods and that, and not costing us overtime to send guys down into the Interstate 80, 46, and 80, not only down there, some other areas in the township, but it basically the focus on human trafficking, drug interdiction, domestic and international terrorism, and criminal interdiction. And basically go down there, and because of the traffic laws we can enforce now, gives officers probable cause to stop and look further into the stop, human trafficking, drug interdiction, or whatever. And we're just looking at the speeding or left of center, whatever, just a reason for the probable cause to stop. Like I told the guy, I don't care less if they write a ticket or not, as long as, they put a warning, but our focus is on, getting the drugs out of there, human trafficking. I think on the news today we just did a place down on 76 Drive that were a couple-year investigation down there, shut it down finally. And these women down there are working in this tanning, so-called business. But they were, these women were being Koreans and Asians being brought in from Chicago, New York, whatever, and they're moved to different locations. So after about a couple-year investigation with the Human Trafficking Task Force run by the Sheriff's Department, which we have some officers on, they're able to finally shut it down today. Hopefully it stays shut down. And that would be up to Darren with the zoning, which, sorry, people make it wrong. But the truck stop area, we're between Pittsburgh and Cleveland. We're between Chicago and New York. It's a major change down there. There's a lot of stuff going in and out of there that a lot of times we don't concentrate down there. We're busy in other areas in the township and that. And we'll deploy canines down there and to work the area. Also, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but a couple months ago, we wrote a grant through the state, which looks like we're going to get, that will pay our officers overtime. If we have to post overtime to send officers down there, they will pay us out of the grant as long as we're doing human trafficking, drug interdiction around. In a nutshell.
I'm gonna put that on for a motion.
And one other thing, all this was presented to the prosecutor's office to look over, and they're on board with this as long as it's approved by the township trustees here. Prosecutors look at it, they're all on board with it.
How's this gonna affect our residential areas? I mean, do we have enough able to stay in our residential areas to be able to do
Yeah,
this?
what we're gonna do if, like I said, as long as we have enough patrol to hit the residential areas or minimum staffing, if we don't have enough, if we're not at our minimum staffing, we're not gonna post overtime to go down there, and we're not gonna go down there if we're at minimum
So we won't
staffing.
be using any overtime to do that?
No, and we're, like I said, as long as we're able to put a couple extra guys on schedule without causing overtime and not taking anybody out of their areas of the township decides to go down there.
Put a motion on to be able to, how do you want to write that? Interstate, be able to go on our interstates. Is that okay?
Is there a certain proper
You wanna
wording that has to be?
move it to the
Yeah,
next
why
meeting?
don't we table it? I think at one time the prosecutor had put something out, resolution.
The proper, so it's table that until we get the proper wording for a resolution.
Yeah, because I don't want to.
No, that's fine, as long as we take care of the next meeting.
Is he taking care of it? All right, anything else? At this time, we can do public response, and that would be on camera for anybody that would like to come up and speak on camera.
Hi, Bill Saltzman, 266 Wilcox Road. Corner of Wilcox and Mahoney, across from the Dunkin' Donuts. This spring, summer, couldn't someone force that individual who owns that to clean that up a little bit? It looks terrible.
Darren.
Sir, give me a second. I did email or text someone with the county. And basically, that was one of the areas. And they said they'd get out there either today or tomorrow, and obviously the weather. But it is on a list. I've got Old Town, south of Silica to the residential. I've got Wilcox, south of Mahoney to the residential, in Callaway. So hopefully they'll get out there with a crew. I'm not sure if they use.
There's a lot of down, limbs, branches.
They're gonna look
trees.
at they're gonna pick up the litter. And I'm not sure if
Okay,
they're
and
gonna
there's a lot
use
of garbage.
prisoners or, yeah. I'm not sure who they used, and I've got a million texts here, but, yeah, I did text someone and they responded back to me that they would.
I'd just like to see it, because it looks horrible. It's our main thoroughfare through there. You can see that. The other thing is, Chief Frost, did I hear right that they auctioned off a truck?
Yes, sir.
Got it auctioned off?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's a good thing.
So,
Got it auctioned off.
we brought it-
A few extra bucks.
Yeah, our normal auction brings in about $1,500 for a used fire truck, and we got $13,400, so we're really thrilled with the outcome. Yeah, so.
Great.
It was a good rate. Sorry to see it go, but it was outdated.
Yes, Darren, you're up again.
Yeah, it's,
I got a few things.
I just go back to your first question. I don't know the man personally, but Joe Hood from the sheriff's office is who I text. And he responded back to me that they would take care of it.
Yeah, just so it's done. I know it can't be done overnight, and just so it's done. I'm just tired of looking at it, to be honest with you. Been that way for a while. But the other one is for you too. Word on the street, you know how those rumor mills go. That Myers. I know it's, you know that they, we're going to possibly build here. Whether it happens or not, who knows? But we heard that 2025. Did you hear anything on that?
You want to know something? We approved Myers in 2016.
I
We did
know.
a zone change, we approved the site plan. The only thing left for them was to submit the stormwater. And in this region, that they told us this was a new region. The closest store was Canton, and that wasn't part of this region. And they didn't want the Austintown store sitting by itself, they wanted 5 other stores. And the opening was gonna be 2022, best case scenario, 2021, spring. Obviously, that never happened, they built everywhere else, and it is what it is, but I've been told, obviously they're doing surveying, and I've been told that the Meyer stores in this region that have opened are doing better than expected. But, they told us in 2016 they were gonna build, so am I gonna tell you they're gonna build? No, but obviously people have been by and seeing the surveying, and I've had media outlets reach out to me, and I'm just walking a very fine line. Yes, they're out there surveying, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, they bought the property, that property is paid for. They've given interviews in past local media that they do not buy properties and improve them and not build. And the improvement on that property was removing the school. So, and I always took the position, if they never built, they got rid of the biggest eyesore in the township. But I also think Chick-fil-A, when they first came to zoning, and this is before COVID, they wanted to relocate into Austintown, but they weren't coming until Myers opened. And they worked with Myers throughout the Myers region. So they,
And we heard
two
that.
companies know each other.
We heard that about the light.
Yeah, and Chick-fil-A, they did reach out to their engineer, and the corporate offices talked, the engineers talked, but they said, I don't know, we got plans for Chick-fil-A, and we told Chick-fil-A where that curb cut was gonna be, the main curb cut, because that would line up with Myers. And the only thing I will tell you that we will be inflexible on Myers on, not that we need to be, but we told them that that's where their main entrance is. And if they do move forward, I would like to see them get moving on the traffic light as soon as possible.
Yeah, that would be a help.
Yeah.
Right, it would help with Chick-fil-A to get
Yeah,
in and out.
and, I don't
That's
know,
why
are
they
they coming? They're out there doing surveying, I think they're serious. And, there was also another side issue, but some of the material, brick material that they removed, they crushed, and they used it would be used for backfill. And there's issues with compaction that takes a certain number of years before you make it to compaction ratios that you need. But,
Can we hold them to that light?
well,
issue?
I don't like to speculate about anything, but that's Myers property. We made a development decision with Chick-fil-A. We told Chick-fil-A where that entrance was gonna be. So let's say Myers doesn't come, they owe us a light, because my position is I'm not giving zoning permits for like 4 smaller businesses there.
Right.
I mean, the Chick-fil-A entrance was based on Myers. Myers made representation to us in 2016 that they were coming, and I believe they're gonna come. I told people summer or spring of 2022, that didn't happen. So I'm not saying anything further, but yeah, I would like to see a light there, and if Myers shouldn't happen, I think they also light before we parcel that off and put 4 or 5 smaller businesses. But that's purely speculation. I don't like to speculate on the public because it'll just come back to you.
Great response. I love it. The other thing is for Chief Gavalier. I used to work part-time after I retired down at 36 and 80, down there at the Sheets gas station. You're absolutely right. Something he's done. That's one of the biggest areas down there for drug transactions in this entire area. Sheets, right there. They have cameras. They have all kinds of stuff there. But it's known, it's a known fact. It's one of the biggest, they do it right in the daytime, right during the day. And all you have to do is turn on your TV and hear about the fentanyl problem. I don't want to see that happening here. We need to nip it down there and grab it. So I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad the board approved it.
We tabled it just to make sure the wording is
We
correct.
gotta make sure we have it all ready.
It needs done before
Yes.
that gets up to New Road,
Mhm.
or to 46 here, or to Mahoney Avenue. It's down there right now, but it's coming. And I'm sure it's some of it's coming out of it. So, I don't care what the wording is, it needs done. So, I appreciate you guys passing it, and I hope they do a bang up job down there, because it's, I don't want to see it taken away from the community either. But, we can get some grant money to pay for that, work the heck out of them now, because they're gonna make their money. So, that's all, I just wanted to bring that up, that I know that's a bad drug area, and I'm sure human trafficking also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else on camera that would like to come up and speak? Okay, Bob.
Bob Marshall, Starboard Driver. Maybe I should just give my other address, 1655 South Raccoon Road, Eagles. I think I'm there more than I am at home. I spoke a couple weeks ago about that benefit, but I didn't have any numbers. So I did get the numbers now. The benefit we had for 10-year-old Tyler, who had a stroke and an aneurysm, that Sunday, the last Sunday in February, they collected $14,500.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Thank the community. I was there all day. It was just non-stream of people. It was just awesome. They worked very hard, and I tell you what, they had 230 baskets of the Chinese auction. So that was a lot of donations there too. So I'm just proud that our Eagles was a part of that. That was 2 weeks ago. Last week, one of our members decided to, hey, you know what, let's see what we could do for East Palestine Eagles. Because we heard that they were shut down for a week, and I know that some of the people there are getting money from the railroad, but the businesses aren't getting any help. So we had 6 guys, 3 trucks. We were going to donate this, well, we collected $600 at one of our drawings. So we're going to take the 600 and buy the water, and then go down there. Well, we were looking for pallets of water, and Ohio Line came through, and they donated 2 pallets, which was over 300 cases of water. So the 6 guys with the 3 trucks went down, loaded up their trucks, went down to East Palestine, and then the secretary there also guided them to Negley, Ohio, which we're in dire need of some support too. So, but to my astonishment, because I always brag about the Eagles, because our motto is people helping people. And the secretary down there said that we were the very first ones from the Eagles organization to offer any kind of help. Well, that kind of got me mad. So Sunday we had our district meeting, and I thank you, Chief Andy and Bob, for your kind words. And they were there, and we had a state representative there. And I told them about the story, and I said I was very disappointed in our Eagles for not reaching out or trying to help out, but I was very proud of our Eagles. And the secretary from the East Palestine Eagles showed up to our meeting and thanked everybody and was in tears. And we kind of told the state representative, because he's going to go back to, the headquarters is in Grove City, Ohio. He's going to go back and find out why our organization did not attempt in any way to help East Palestine out. But like I says, that's one story that we're going to get resolved. But I just wanted to know that I'm very, very proud of our Eagles. And we're right across from Wedgewood Pizza. Come in anytime and come and have a beer with me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, we'll take remarks from the board, and if you'd like to go on for Steve Kent.
I spoke to ODOT this past week. We had a question from our residents about the sound wall. They started on it last year. They stopped production due to the fact of funding. So what their email stated was that they'll resume Construction on the sound wall south of 11, going towards Canfield, in early of 2024 and ending in the spring. And one other thing, Stan Korb was a state qualifier from Fitch. This past weekend, he went 1 and 2 over the weekend. He didn't get on the podium, but he did work his butt off, and we just want to wish him congratulations on making it that far.
Robert?
Just want to obviously give credit to the Junior Women's League of Austintown. They had the Taste of Austintown this weekend, which was phenomenal. Don't get that spicy sausage from Sam's, because it is really, really spicy. I thought it was mediocre spicy, but man, they definitely, it was a good time. The ladies did a great job setting up the event. It's definitely, it was like the first one since COVID, so I'm glad they brought it back. It's something that definitely would be fun to go do. So thank you again to all the women who actually had something to do with it. Our fellow trustee is also on the Junior Women's League, so she definitely did great. But I like burgers next time, just so you know. Cheeseburger, pepper jack. That's that. Chief, I want to say thank you to your efforts with the raid that actually occurred on 76 Drive. I mean, you, obviously your crew, the county, you guys did a phenomenal job. I know 2 years is a long time to sit back knowing that something's wrong, but making sure everything is legal and procedures are followed properly. It definitely shows a lot of bearing, so I appreciate you guys' efforts. I know we touched base on the ABC Water District. That's a long conversation. I'm sure some of you all want to go home. I won't sit here for 2 hours. If you guys want, call me. I can give more details. There's actually a meeting tomorrow in Boardman at their government center at 2 o'clock. So if you guys want more details or hear what's going on or see what's going on, by all means, you can come down to that meeting or just give me a call. I'll be more than happy to sit on the phone or come by for a cup of coffee and give you an explanation on what it does and pros and cons of anything. That's it.
Well, I had a great turnout for the Austintown Taste of Austintown. It was a really good time. We all had a good time there, and a lot of the residents seemed to enjoy it. And I'd like to thank all the residents that did show up, and the Junior Women's League really worked hard on it, and that'll help Austintown, and they do a YSU scholarship. They have 3 scholarships for YSU students, so that'll be really nice that a lot of that money will go towards that. The Fitch Drama Team, I'm going to mention that again, will present Legally Blonde, the musical, at Austintown Fitch High School Auditorium, March 30th and 31st at 7 o'clock, and April 2nd at 3. And our Easter egg hunt, April 1st, 10 to 12 at Austintown Township Park, and I had mentioned we will have Chick-fil-A there, and Kona Ice, a mini farm, some face painting, 6,000 eggs that we need help filling. And that's about all. I'd like to wish everybody a happy St. Patrick's Day, and wish everybody a nice St. Patrick's Day. So with that being said, I'll do a motion to recess to executive session.
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mrs. Peters? Yes.